All right, welcome back. We're about to head into the old Brackenberry Sanitarium here.
Of course.
Deal with the two separate things. The first of which is, let's see, was it for for Aloth here. Find an expert on awakening somewhere in Defiance Bay. Appears the Brackenberry Sanitarium is our best hope. And also, we need to talk to the head warden. Hello, Verna. So I actually, while loading this game, I finally discovered that the ones who have those backgrounds there are the ones with the golden nameplates, which I never actually noticed the different color before. And that they're basically characters who were designed by backers, which is actually kind of cool. And now that I know that, I can actually see it everywhere. Hey, Nons, you don't happen to know anything about twin souls, do you? Awakenings?
Hail, traveler.
An elderly woman peruses the shelves with a quickness and an energy that belie her age. I'm afraid I don't practice anymore, child. Too busy with my research. Oh, right. Immortal sent me. He said you'd be interested in these scepter pieces we found. That chatty old fishwife's been blabbing about me, I see. She laughs and rolls her eyes. Never trust your secrets to a man with so much salt in his beard. Anyway, let's see what you've got. Actually, I think you're supposed to be much older than that. Nans examines the scepter, her eyes hooded by crinkled flesh. Immortal told you true. I'll buy this. Unfortunately, a broken scepter isn't as valuable as you may have led you to believe. She steals a glance at your face, but her fingers tighten around the piece in her hands. I'll take it off you for 500. Yeah, no. Nonsense. This could easily be repaired with someone with the proper skill by someone with the proper skills. Her eyes flash under their sagging lids. I've got the skills, all right. And you know more than the average relic hunter I see. Oh yeah, you're not going to cheat me. Making it whole again is a matter of alchemy. Expensive alchemy. I've got to soak the broken ends in a fiend's blood compound to reconnect them. Never mind the embalming work to restore the enchantments. I could do it to the tune of 1,800 pounds. I am giving you a rare opportunity to work on an Engwithan scepter. Surely you can bring the price down. Aye, perhaps if you want to bargain and haggle with every dragon blood vendor and imp horn merchant in the city. She puffs her sagging cheeks. Ooh, very well. You can have the satisfaction of working an old woman to an early grave for only 1,500. Alrighty. Give 1,500 it is. I expect you'll want to watch and see that your money's put to good use. Better get comfortable then. She lays out an array of powders, potions, and other obscure ingredients on her desk. After what feels like hours, she returns to the main hall with you and presents the scepter. Looking at it, you'd never know it had been broken in the first place. This may be the finest work I've ever done, if I may say so. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. Examining a piece like this is a dream come true for someone in my field. She gazes at it wistfully. Take good care of it. I should probably, take a look. The Engwithan Scepter. It's, not unique. Huh. If that's the case, I might have be better off just selling it. I suppose it's slightly stronger. It does have the plus 20% attack speed, too. That's pretty nice. Ooh, we're almost to the next level of, Garrett Hoennis. That's cool. And I suppose it's better than the one he currently has. Not that I really use that one that much. Still, though, I don't think it was worth that much money. I'd much rather... Well, how much can I sell it for now? It's only worth 1,000. Yeah, I was probably better off selling it. Okay. We're back. Just pay me the pieces for the pieces and don't try to shortchange me this time. She looks at you again, pursing her thin lips. As you wish. And knowing that it is such a find, I'll give you 700. There we go. Alrighty. That's a bit more useful to me than the Inkwithin Scepter itself. What do you know about awakenings? Not much, I'm afraid, but the sanitarium attracts experts from all over. I'm sure someone can help you out. Alrighty. Out in here. Audmer, I think you knew something about awakenings, didn't you?
Hail and well met.
Do you know anything about awakenings? Nope, apparently not. I mean, the head warden probably does, but... Belisage? Do you know anything about awakenings? She laughs bitterly. Ah, that would be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. Ah, well, do I have good news for you? I would like to transfer Animancy's successes in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. Well, you're in luck. I have a volunteer. Both, I guess, Aloth and myself, really. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gallard, who is it? Aloth's lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Darrens are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. Belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Oh? Again, I jest. You're pretty eager, aren't you, Belisage? She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax. But don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. She's got a point, Aloth. Indeed. His eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Huh. Seems more like like shock therapy at a mental asylum or something. Now, I'll examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long, chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Adra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. Oh, that's kind of cool. I guess we'll find out whether it is truly an awakening or not. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Kana peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. I do love his interest in learning. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isilmir more? I like that lady. I do too. Eder, I do too. She's nice. Well, okay, she's not nice, but she's fun. She raises a finger. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Good luck. You'd have an easier time getting straight answers out of a drunk priest of Whale. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal. Something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Sithwood. He looks at you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are soothing or smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. That's probably just Watcher stuff. Mother is always away most of the time, with Thane's family. But I always know when she is coming home. Father's battles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her Hamneg... Not familiar. To another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. Maybe service or something? This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I'm in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she is around, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen, the next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at the flecks of my blood on the tile, his boots glistening with fresh polish. Thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach. I curl up to shield my vitals, but it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Damn, Aloth. Sorry. I hope your father is in the ground now. In the dirt. Deserves nothing less, it sounds like. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Madicho! Belisage furiously cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him out of it, quickly. I almost have it. Shaken by the shoulders. Slap him now. Squeeze Aloth's hand. You're safe. Everything's fine. Aloth's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's ne'er safe when I hap upon him. Belisage sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his presence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. Well, Isilmir is, yeah. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. That's different. Alfedo, with flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the page next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now, Try to get the two of them talking. At least I assumed that was Isilmir. Isilmir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Fie! He's the one who needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist, quill still in hand. Go on. Isilmir, what exactly are you taking from him? Not more than I'm giving. You should ask what I did with did that old man of his. How that last time he laid a hand on us, I broke it in 3 places. Yay. Very good, Isilmir. Good for you, I'm happy to hear it. The bastard deserved it. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. I mean, the bastard deserved it. I was awakening, but now I'm stuck with you, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper. Very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Isilmir's essence through the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right around the spleen, which, of course, means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Oh, huh. So Isilmir is, triggered by Aloth's spleen. Not what I expected. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horseshit. How gracious. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? Isilmir manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. You're close. I think Isilmir's appearances are related to potential sources of trouble for Aloth. Belisage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belisage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Belisage, you're supposed to be the expert, not me. Isilmir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. True. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. I think you should. Isilmir is, well, she causes a bit of trouble, but she's good to you, I think. Seems Isilmir steps in when she determines you're in danger. We'll go with number 2. If you had to listen to her half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that. He scowls, but you notice something thoughtful in his frown. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Gwyneth. He does not look at Belisage. Poor Belisage. Well, she got a lot of fun out of this at the very least. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been as useful for you, to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You will be the toast of Revua, Fentra Aloth. Glad we could help, Belisage. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. Was that Isilmer? As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aleth is holding her notes. Oh? He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. Aleth, this isn't really right. I can't let you do that. Not after hearing how much this means to her. He slides the papers back onto the desk, giving you a rueful look. I'm not gonna help you explain this one, scholar boy. Yeah.
What is it?
It'd be what we call in the industry a real dick move to old Belisage here.
Of course.
We made a deal, the least we could do is stick to it. Alright. Now for the head warden, Ethelmere.
Good day, stranger.
Ethelmere. Moir. Ah, the Watcher. What brings you here? Yeah, you may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. Ethelmere groans and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators may have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. I'm not all that surprised that he, of all people, is aware of them. Once again, I'm reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You're at odds with the Leaden Key as well, I take it. Yes, I am. They have something I need. They're up to something and I'm trying to determine what. I mean, both of those are true. They have well, let's go with that. They're up to something and I'm trying to determine what. They are always up to something. Of that you may rest assured. Their plots have come to involve you. You have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I mean, I suspect it's a patient. Do I? I have to read the description again. Very well. In that case, I'd recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You'll report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Fair enough. Yeah, prisoner by choice. Definitely suspect a patient then. Oddmere?
Well met, friend.
Nope, nothing. Ah, perfect. Nons, can I help you with something? I'm investigating possible Leaden Key activity in the sanitarium. Seen anything suspicious? Well, I really shouldn't say that in case she's the actual infiltrator, but it's unlikely. Oh, I'm afraid I'm too wrapped up in my own research to pay any mind to what else is going on around here. One of the other animators might know something, though. Alright, thank you very much. I'll try Oddmere again.
Hello.
Nope. I doubt you know anything, Belisage, but, Sage. Nope. It'll be good to return to Revua. I trust Fentra Alath and his companion are well? Well enough, I suppose. How about you, Mordred? I doubt you know anything since you could have died before, but...
Welcome.
Oh, I could tell you about Helig, though. Helig is dead. For good. Mordred lets out a long breath. Then I can rest easy. Thank you. You've done me a great service. Or you've done a great service for Animancy, for the sanitarium, and for me. Thank you. You're welcome. How about you, Ripley?
Gods keep you.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spines of the books in front of her. Row by row, her motions quick and skittish, like a bird's. She does not notice you until you are nearly upon her. Oh my! You startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm investigating any suspicious activity in the sanitarium. Oh, I'm just Master Azo's assistant. He'd know more about that, but he's in the middle of an busy with some patients. What is he doing to those patients? You won't be able to see him until he comes out from the patient ward. I see. If there's nothing else, I need to get back to work. Is Azo busy with patients, or is he running some sort of experiment? I'm just an assistant. It's not my place to gossip. Sorry. Alright, well, how do I get into the patient ward? Only Master Azo has access. I guess Head Warden Ethelmer does too, but he's, a statue now. Of course. What do you do here? Well, you just said, but I mostly help Master Azo set up and clean his equipment. I also keep his office organized since he's too busy to do it himself. What about experts on awakenings? Me? I'm just Master Azo's assistant. But there's a visiting scholar from Revua here named Belisage. She claims to know about them. Of course. Alright, Ethelmer.
Hail, traveler.
Have you learned anything of interest? Maybe. Is Kedman Azo running experiments on the patients here? Experiments? Kedman Azo was in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Kedman. I had hoped he would be one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access to you so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter. And I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask also that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough trouble as it is. Thank you. I'll try not to cause any trouble. I wonder if Azo is actually the one we're looking for. The head warden says you can go in. Be careful in there. Of course. Oh, we have 2 messages. Skulls for Mother. Somewhere deep in the ruins of Ibrel's Well, a pair of Puigrug prey on travelers and offer up sacrifices to their mother. In the past, travelers simply knew to avoid all trails leading near the well, but in recent years, the Puigrug have increased the range of their hunts. Travelers have been abducted or killed on the roads between Solus Vale and Midwood. Glenfathans are reticent to enter Ibrel's Well due to the religious significance of the ruins there. But that hasn't stopped the residents of the affected towns from requesting help from within the Darewood. Sagani explored the ruins of Ibrel's Well extensively and found a wide array of dangers in the ancient city's crumbling homes and palaces. Though the Puigrug have always been hostile to outsiders, Sagani was able to speak with them and realized that they were being mentally controlled by someone else. The source of the increased attacks was an Orlan cipher who had been disowned by her father and subsequently banished from the twice-split arrows. Children, or especially skilled at mental domination, the cipher was using the Puigrug, her children, to make a small fortune on unlucky travelers. However, once Sagani drew her out into the open, the overconfident cipher was quickly defeated. In the cipher's lair near the heart of Ibrel's Well, Sagani discovered a grisly treasure. The necklace the Puigrug had formed from the teeth of the Orlan's murdered father. What the crap? That's horrifying. I don't want that necklace. All right. A flesh construct. You. Must have spent all their copper on the upstairs. Indeed. So, are these flesh constructs guards? Hello, Frail. A curved spine twists this woman's posture forward, her greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. What do you know about this Animancer Azo? Oh, I like him very much. Many Animancers could care less about their patients. Look at us like vermin for their experiments. But Master Azo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's affected by it. What happened to Azo? Frail's eyes dart back and forth, and her voice lowers to just above a whisper. They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He's said to be one of the brightest in Darewood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. I see. People say it was ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash. Even if he was a bit of a showman, he loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work. Suspected his colleagues might have tried to steal it. But he told me once that he had figured out a way to create a soul. Did he now? Not a soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? Huh. You know, I've seen similar machines, I think. The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. Gods, no. That's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies in Andra's gift? No, tell me. They call them buoys, because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. Well, that's horrible. Anyway, Master Azo had scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copper Lane. He was so excited. And then the next day, he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard. And he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him, but I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. I see. Do you know where I might find him? I think I've seen him around today. We checked the laboratory. He shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. Thank you. And why are you in here? Behind her hair, her cheeks flush. I don't want to say. You'll think less of me. I wouldn't worry about that. When you blush, it brings out the color of your eyes. Her blush deepens, and she ducks her head forward to bury her face deeper beneath her hair. These last few years haven't been kind to me. They haven't been kind to anyone, really. I try not to think of it as personal. I lost my husband and both boys in the Saints' War. My daughter, the legacy took her before she was ever mine. I made do. What else can you do? I see. I moved into a tiny place in Andra's gift. Got to mending clothes and on the kindness of strangers when I had to. But I was surviving and the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then one day this noblewoman comes in. Wants this fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing. This shade of blue I'd never seen before. Only I had. I looked at it, and it reminded me of something. I had what they call an awakening. Oh. Surprised, a certain someone didn't want to talk to you instead. I remembered being a noble woman myself in another life. People doting on me. Men doting over me. Me! The best food, the most beautiful home, all the things you never dared to dream of. They were mine. It was poison knowing that. All those things I had that I'll never have in this life. It did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls in my little room seemed to close in around me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. Well, that sounds... Man, I feel bad for you. I'm not sure why you would think I would feel less of you, though. So I came here. It was that or break into an estate and start ordering servants around. That probably wouldn't have gone well. It seems like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me. But I can't get past it. I start to wonder, did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what terrible thing must I have done to deserve it? I see. Maybe we'll get there one day. If not in this life, then in another. Nobody deserves to go what you've gone through. Yeah. I hope not. I can't even imagine the monster who deserves what half the patients here go through every day. Have any of the patients been acting unusually? More unusually than the usual? Well, there's Batixa, who lives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Yikes. Edelman, who they say only has half a soul and who was found collecting the faces of others. Jeez. Because he believed his own to be a false one. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose. But nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Azo let us know that a number of patients in the North Wood had volunteered for a new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. Glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. What was that about someone collecting faces? It's Graham I see them taking in the most. He struggles, but he always was a bit of a wild one. And would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I see. I don't know what I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor. Just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Thank you. She's the only one named here. A lot of flesh construct guards. And a lot of rooms here. Let's avoid talking to potentially violent patients. Hey, flesh construct. You don't mind me, do you? Office. There he is. Before we talk to him, though, let's check out the rest of the place. There's a guard. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Blacksmith Knights. Or a short history of the Knights of the Crucible. Oh, that'd be stealing, but I'm curious what's in here. I see. Alright. And that's probably the door to the North Ward that I'm not allowed in. Something churns and bubbles in this tank. The copper wires and conduits are shiny. Device warm to the touch. Sure. What is my mechanics, actually?
Well,
7. Perfect.
yes.
I think that's what the difficulty
I'll see
actually
it
means.
done. It's finished.
Ooh, Raven Wing. A unique mace. I think the DR bypass is just part of being a mace. +4 accuracy when attacking the same target as an ally. Plus 25% damage when attacking the same target as an ally. And then it's got damaging 3, plus 45% damage. Of course, then +4 accuracy. Damn. It's actually kind of nice.
As you wish.
Sorry I took that, Kidman.
I'll see it done. It's finished.
And no, actually, difficulty is just the difficulty. Golan. 50%. Plus 50 defense when stunned. And 50 when prone. And then minus 50% stun duration and knockdown duration. It's actually, kind of nice. All right. Hello, Kedman. Mr. Azo. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Ethelmere told me you were not supposed to be doing any more experiments. I'm looking for an expert. We'll go with number 1. Yes, well, Ethelmore hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved into an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If animancers all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backward and willfully ignorant as Red Karis. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. Our leaders guide us, and without them we risk losing our way. If this man would strike off on his own, then let him fend for himself, without the benefit of the sanitarium. He's got a point there. Sanitarium provides resources and opportunities. You must follow their rules. Seems to me we're still in the dark. We toy with things that are beyond our comprehension. That's not my problem with it. Surely there are other paths that don't involve risking lives.
Indeed. Many lives have been spent in such pursuits, writing treatises and poems. But tell me this, how does one verify the truth of a poem? If some philosopher stumbled across the meaning of our existence, how would we know it from a false one? These are wasted lives. In animancy there is progress. We are measurably closer to complete understanding because of our work. And that will be true until our work is complete.
I mean, I suppose, but it doesn't mean you should just do human experimentation without strong ethical guidelines.
Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church?
I
Some
mean-
warrior? It will be an animancer, or it will be no one at all.
Actually, very likely it'll be us. But, that's besides the point. That's probably like half accurate since we are a watcher and a cipher, but not quite the same as being an animancer. Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it, now that Ethelmere's involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. Oof. definitely not harmless experiments, in other words. I'd heard you were demoted. How did that happen? Azo's nostrils flare and he bares his upper teeth more broadly. That's none of your concern. Did one of the others put you up to this, Audemir? That smug weasel. Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know how. I'll never know. He spits on the floor as if to remove a bitter taste from his mouth. I see. I'd like access to the North Ward. Actually, I want to ask you about the awakenings. I don't have time to give you directions. Go bother somebody else. All right, North Ward it is. Out of the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. Your forehead seems damp all of a sudden. Perhaps I should discuss your insubordination with the head warden.
You smug cretin. How dare you come down here and meddle? You have no idea the importance of my research.
Hey, you give me access to the North Ward, and I might just keep this to myself. He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into his index finger. A growl simmering beneath his breath and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
Oh, I'm sure they will. He pulls a heavy key, a leaden key, perhaps, from one of his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. Thank you.